INFJs are known as deep thinkers, intuitive feelers, and people who care deeply about meaning and purpose. As one of the rarest personality types, INFJs often struggle with balancing their idealistic nature with the reality of everyday life. One common challenge they face is procrastination. Unlike simple laziness, INFJ procrastination is often caused by emotional and psychological barriers. They don't just put things off because they don't want to do them. They feel stuck because of self-doubt, overthinking, and fear of failure. The tasks they delay often mean something to them, which makes them even harder to start. This video will dive into 6 emotional traps that make INFJs procrastinate. These traps come from their personality traits and emotional depth. But more importantly, we will also look at how to overcome them. If you are an INFJ who struggles with putting things off, this video will help you understand why it happens and what you can do about it. So let's get started with the first emotional trap that holds INFJs back: perfectionism and fear of failure. Perfectionism and fear of failure. INFJs have high standards for themselves. They don't want to just complete a task, they want to do it perfectly. This can be a strength, but it often turns into a weakness when they delay starting something because they fear it won't be good enough. For example, an INFJ working on a creative project, like writing a book or making art, might keep postponing it. They might say, "I don't feel ready," or "I need to do more research first." The truth is, they are afraid of not meeting their own expectations. This perfectionism often leads to fear of failure. INFJs take failure personally because they put so much of themselves into what they do. If something doesn't turn out well, they don't just see it as a mistake. They feel like they are a failure. How to overcome it? Set realistic goals. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Tell yourself, done is better than perfect. Break tasks into smaller steps. If a project feels too big, start with something small. Just writing one sentence or making one sketch is a win. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. Remind yourself that even the most talented people failed many times before succeeding. By shifting their mindset from "I must do this perfectly" to "I just need to start," INFJs can overcome this emotional trap and take action. Overwhelmed from deep empathy, INFJs are highly empathetic. They can sense and absorb the emotions of others, sometimes without realizing it. While this makes them great friends and listeners, it can also be emotionally draining. When they have a lot of work to do, but they're also dealing with emotional stress, whether it's their own or someone else's, it becomes hard to focus. This emotional overload makes them feel exhausted, so they put off their responsibilities. For example, an INFJ might have plans to work on an important task, but then a friend comes to them for emotional support. Instead of saying, "I can't talk right now," the INFJ listens for hours, absorbing their friend's pain. Later, they feel too drained to work and end up procrastinating. How to overcome it? Set emotional boundaries. It's okay to say, "I care about you, but I need time to focus on my tasks." Schedule emotional recovery time. After intense social interactions, take time to recharge before working on your own projects. Use grounding techniques. Simple exercises like deep breathing, meditation, or journaling can help INFJs clear their minds and refocus. By managing their emotional energy, INFJs can prevent overwhelm and stay productive without sacrificing their caring nature. Idealism leading to disillusionment. INFJs are idealists. They dream of a perfect world where everything is meaningful, inspiring, and fulfilling. This can be a wonderful trait, but it also sets them up for disappointment when reality doesn't match their expectations. For example, an INFJ might start a new project, job, or relationship with high hopes, but if they encounter difficulties, they may feel disillusioned and lose motivation. Instead of working through the challenges, they procrastinate because the situation no longer feels as perfect as they imagined. This emotional trap is common with INFJs who struggle with big-picture thinking. They might feel that if something isn't going exactly as planned, it's not worth doing at all. How to overcome it? Embrace imperfection. Understand that no project, job, or relationship will ever be perfect, but that doesn't mean it's not valuable. Focus on small wins. Instead of looking at the final ideal outcome, celebrate small progress along the way. Reframe challenges as learning experiences. Instead of feeling disillusioned, see obstacles as opportunities for growth. By shifting their mindset, INFJs can keep moving forward even when things don't go exactly as planned. Analysis paralysis due to overthinking. INFJs are deep thinkers, and while this is a strength, it can also become a weakness when it leads to analysis paralysis. They tend to overthink every decision, constantly questioning, what if I make the wrong choice? This is especially true for big life decisions, choosing a career, moving to a new city, or starting a creative project. Because INFJs want to make the best choice, they often spend too much time analyzing every possible outcome instead of taking action. Even small decisions, like writing an email or choosing what to say in a conversation, can feel overwhelming. The longer they overthink, the harder it becomes to start, leading to procrastination. How to overcome it? Set a decision deadline. Give yourself a specific amount of time to think about a choice, then commit to making a decision. Use the good enough rule. Not every decision needs to be perfect. Sometimes good enough is enough. Take small steps. If making a big decision feels overwhelming, take one small step at a time. INFJs need to trust their intuition more and accept that no decision is ever 100% perfect. The key is to move forward rather than staying stuck in overthinking. Avoidance of mundane tasks. INFJs thrive on meaningful work. They love deep conversations, creative projects, and activities that feel purposeful. But when it comes to boring, everyday tasks, they struggle. Things like doing laundry, answering emails, or filling out paperwork often feel pointless to an INFJ. Because they don't see the deeper meaning behind these tasks, they tend to put them off for as long as possible. However, avoiding these tasks can create stress and chaos. An INFJ who procrastinates on paying bills or organizing their space might eventually feel overwhelmed, which only makes them delay things more. How to overcome it? Attach meaning to the task. Even small tasks serve a purpose. For example, keeping a clean space can help clear the mind. Use the 5-minute rule. Commit to doing the task for just 5 minutes. Once started, it often feels easier to continue. Turn mundane tasks into a ritual. Listen to music or a podcast while doing chores to make them more enjoyable. By finding ways to make mundane tasks less painful, INFJs can avoid unnecessary procrastination and feel more in control of their daily life. Fear of criticism and judgment. INFJs are highly sensitive to criticism. They care deeply about how others perceive them, which can make them hesitant to put themselves out there. The fear of judgment can be so strong that they choose to procrastinate instead of risking failure. For example, an INFJ who wants to start a YouTube channel, write a book, or launch a business might delay it for years because they're afraid of what people will say. Even if they have a great idea, the thought of receiving negative feedback can feel too painful to handle. This emotional trap is especially strong when INFJs tie their self-worth to their work. If they receive criticism, they don't just see it as feedback, they take it personally. How to overcome it? Shift the focus. Instead of worrying about judgment, focus on the people who will benefit from your work. Accept that criticism is inevitable. Even the most successful people face criticism. It's a sign that you're doing something important. Reframe failure as growth. Every mistake or negative comment is an opportunity to learn and improve. By embracing the reality that not everyone will like them, INFJs can push past the fear and take action. Strategies to overcome procrastination. Now that we've explored the emotional traps that cause INFJs to procrastinate, let's talk about practical strategies to break the cycle. Strategy 1. Prioritize tasks. Based on energy levels, INFJs have limited social and emotional energy. Instead of forcing themselves to be productive all the time, they should schedule important tasks when they feel most energized. Strategy 2. Use a why-first approach. Since INFJs need meaning in their work, it helps to connect tasks to a larger purpose. Ask, why is this important to me? If a task feels pointless, find a way to make it more personally meaningful. Strategy 3. Set small, realistic goals. Big tasks can feel overwhelming, leading to procrastination. Instead of aiming for huge accomplishments, INFJs should break tasks into smaller steps. Progress, even if small, builds momentum. Strategy 4. Practice self-compassion. INFJs can be too hard on themselves. Instead of feeling guilty for procrastinating, they should practice self-kindness and remind themselves that it's okay to take breaks. By using these strategies, INFJs can overcome procrastination, feel more in control, and start making progress toward their goals. INFJs are deep thinkers, perfectionists, and idealists. Their ability to see the big picture, connect deeply with others, and strive for excellence makes them unique. But these same traits can also lead to procrastination when emotional traps take over. The 6 emotional traps we covered: perfectionism, emotional overwhelm, idealism, overthinking, avoiding mundane tasks, and fear of criticism, all come from the way INFJs process the world. They don't procrastinate because they're lazy. They procrastinate because they feel too much. The good news is that INFJs can overcome these emotional barriers. By shifting their mindset, setting realistic goals, and practicing self-compassion, they can take action without feeling stuck. So, if you're an INFJ struggling with procrastination, remember this: you are not alone, and you are not failing. You just need to work with your personality, not against it. Take small steps, focus on what matters, and don't let perfectionism hold you back. Your dreams and ideas deserve to become reality. The first step: start now.